Hey everyone, it's Alex. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to cover why I am no longer on a vegan diet. I'm going to be very real with you. I'll kind of like go through my thought process, why I'm no longer vegan, and yeah, just tell you guys the story. Despite, I'm sure I will be getting some negative comments coming my way, I'm sure, but I'm going to give it to you guys straight. So just in case like you're considering going on a vegan diet, you're considering going off of a vegan diet, you're just curious. But the biggest thing, guys, is that everyone is different. And everyone's choices should be respected, whether they should be on a vegan diet, go off of a vegan diet, whatever the case may be regarding a vegan diet. Everyone's choice and how they decide to eat should be respected. Okay, let's jump on into it. So first I'm going to give a little bit of a background. So in, I think, February, the end of January, February of 2015, or was it 2016? Let me see. It was at the end of January 2016 that I decided that I wanted to go cruelty-free with my makeup. It was on February 1st, 2016 that I posted my first makeup declutter video for my cruelty-free transition, which is my most popular video across all of my channels. And then I have some other following declutter videos that came along the way. The next declutter video that I did, which was part 2, I decluttered anything that was from a cruelty-free brand but had a parent company that tested on animals. And then the next declutter that came out just a couple of months ago in 2017, and that was my makeup declutter where I got rid of products that, despite them being cruelty-free, they weren't vegan friendly. So it's been a transition. It's a lot of learning. You kind of learn as you go. You understand more. There's a lot of education. And just for anybody who's making the transition, just know there's a lot of gray area when it comes to being cruelty-free. It's actually easier to be vegan than it is to be cruelty-free. Vegan is just like you look at the ingredients, you know, okay, this isn't vegan friendly, this isn't. There's still tricky stuff to come when it comes to being a vegan with like certain sugar. Like if you get regular sugar, that's considered not vegan because it's not cruelty-free because it's somehow created with like bones of something. I don't know, it was weird. Like the process of how it was made somehow incorporated animals. So there are some tricky things when it comes to being vegan, but I feel like the cruelty-free part of it, that is an even bigger gray area. So, and I think if you're someone who wants to go vegan and you want to go vegan for ethical reasons, I think, and some people go vegan for ethical reasons with their diet, but then they don't with like makeup products, household products, stuff like that, or vice versa. Like I said, everyone's different. They can be vegan with one thing and not vegan with another. They can be a vegan across the board, just cruelty-free without a lot of restrictions, so many different things. So as time went on, I just got more strict and more strict. The more I learned, the more guilty I felt with accepting other things. Like, you know, I was like, oh, as much as I, you know, am upset that I just bought all this stuff from NYX post going cruelty-free, now that I'm like understanding the fact that they have a parent company that tests on animals, and if I buy their products, that money is going to the parent company that's testing on animals, which will go to animal testing. So it's not a direct payment, but it's indirectly going to animal testing. So I decided, you know, I didn't feel good with that. I don't feel good with that. So I no longer support that. And I'm even strict, and I just follow Logical Harmony. So if you guys want to know a lot about cruelty-free stuff, vegan stuff, definitely check out Logical Harmony, Tashina Combs on YouTube. I will make sure I will link that stuff down below for you guys. But whenever I went vegan with my makeup, I was like, if I'm not vegan 100%, I just feel like such a huge hypocrite. And I just didn't feel comfortable. Like I felt like, you know, I'm doing all these right things when it comes to makeup and beauty and stuff, avoiding vegan animal byproducts, so I could have just vegan collection. But then I was like, I really want to do it from a diet standpoint too, just ethically speaking. Like I just don't like that I'm vegan in one area and not vegan in another. Like I wanted to be vegan across the board. And I was even getting to the point where I'm like, hey, like on Twitter, I asked, you know, someone like, where do you guys get your nails done? Like, and because, you know, I like getting acrylics, I like getting gel nails, and I'm like, I know there's the likelihood that the products that the nail salon uses are not products that are vegan friendly, are not products that are cruelty-free. Like, I'm sure it's all like stuff that's been tested on animals and not vegan friendly. So I asked on Twitter, like, you know, if you're vegan, do you get your nails done? You don't want to get too nitpicky, because there's a certain point where if you keep going and going and going and just dwindling and dwindling and dwindling down your options with everything, you're just going to be sitting in your room by yourself, not being able to go out and do anything, and you're probably going to starve to death and die, because you could even go down to the point where you're like, well, I won't go to a grocery store that sells meat. So, and if there's not a vegan store in your area where the entire store is vegan, and you don't want to support a grocery store that sells non-vegan items, and that's not in your area, then you're screwed. You're just going to starve to death. So like, there is a certain point where you kind of have to be like, okay, am I being too hard on myself? Am I being too strict? There's even like the whole like, if you go to a public restroom, like, and I thought about this and I Googled it, and it is a question that a lot of people have asked. If you go to a public restroom, do you use the soap? The soap in a public restroom is not going to be cruelty-free and vegan friendly. The likelihood of that is very low unless you are at a vegan restaurant. So maybe they have the vegan soap at the vegan restaurant. So, and you know, that's not always hard. Like, there's, where I live, vegan restaurants and vegan grocery store. I don't think there is a vegan grocery store in Pittsburgh. And the closest thing I've come to it is Whole Foods, but that still sells stuff that's non-vegan. And then I don't think there's any cruelty-free or vegan nail salons. I don't. There's some vegan restaurants. But the thing is, no one wants to go with me to a vegan restaurant, because I'm the only one that at the time when I was vegan, I was the only vegan. I don't know anybody in my area that's vegan, but you know, whatever. And you know, another reason why I wanted to go on a vegan diet was for my health. Because I'm like, I've heard a lot of people who have digestive issues, you know, really benefit for going on a vegan diet. And so I thought, you know, like, I've tried every other diet in the entire world. I just had this feeling that the vegan diet would really help me. And so I decided one day, I was just like, well, there were other complications. And I mentioned this in the video on my DVD Addict Diaries channel. This is before I had Health and Fitness Barbie, so the video went on there. But I talk about why I decided to go vegan and what was kind of postponing me from going vegan. And what was postponing me from going vegan, part of it was like worried, like a lot of like my health professionals and my psychiatrists, my parents, and like people around me were like, oh my god, don't go on a vegan diet. Like, everyone thinks it's like the end of the world if you go on a vegan diet, and like you're so unhealthy and like you're gonna die. Like, it's ridiculous. Vegan diet's actually really healthy, and it's probably healthier. A vegan diet's probably way healthier if you do it right. A vegan diet's probably way healthier than some of these people who are like, oh, that's so bad for you, and they're like eating shit. But like, they were so worried, and they're like, also like, if you go on a vegan diet, a lot of people lose a lot of weight, and they're like, Alex, you're so low weight, you don't want to risk losing weight. But I'm like, at the same time, like, I'm not digesting anything right, like, you know, whatever. So eventually I just ignored everybody. And then of course I was also in a relationship with someone who was verbally abusive, who manipulated me and controlled me. And you know, whenever I brought up being vegan, she literally, it's like the devil took over. It was like I was talking about how I wanted to murder somebody. Like, that's how bad she reacted. And she would always, you know, give me ultimatums, and like, it's a long story, but pretty much she just did everything she could in her power to prevent me from, you know, making that decision. And then eventually I cut her out of my life. And then I cut her out of my life, and then, you know, I tried all these medical things, and nothing seemed to be working, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go on this vegan diet. For one, I don't have the, you know, the bitch in my life who's, you know, trying to stop me from doing it. We're no longer together. Two, I've been wanting to do this for ethical reasons. And three, I think it would be good for health reasons to do it. So there was a lot of things that were stopping me, and a lot of things that, you know, made me want to go on a vegan diet. It was not strictly 100% an ethical choice. It was, you know, kind of like 50-50. Like, it was ethical, and it was with health, and, you know, without having other people get in my way, you know, whatever. I finally decided to do it, and I felt so good. I was so proud and happy, and I think that was like November 9th, 2016, I fully went on a vegan diet, 100%, and I did that until about like, maybe like May 1st or something of 2017, so it was recently that I stopped being on a vegan diet. And it was going pretty well for a while, and I think the main reason why I was going pretty well is because I think it did help with my digestive system, because if you cut out, like, meats are hard to digest, but vegetables are also hard to digest. So it was like there's certain things that I was cutting out that were helping me to digest better out of my diet. And like, so it seemed like it was working better for me. It wasn't like a foolproof solution to my health problems, but I could tell like I felt like a little bit better in certain ways. And then, you know, and the other thing too is because I was so busy at the time. I think when I started about my vegan diet, I was working, I was working one job, and then like a month later I was working 2 jobs. So I was working as an insurance broker, 9 to 5, and then after work I would be going to Forever 21 working as a sales associate, and I had, I think, three YouTube channels at the time that I was running, and I was just so busy. So it's like I wasn't trying to go out and socialize or anything. I wasn't going out to dinner with people. I wasn't really hanging out with people, especially because at the time I still couldn't drink. I couldn't get coffee. Like, couldn't really do anything that would require social activity. So 99, like, unless I was at unless I was working, I was at home by myself editing, watching TV or something. So it was really easy to be on a vegan diet because all I had to do was go to Whole Foods, pick out my vegan stuff, make my vegan stuff at home, and then I was good to go. And then, so it was working for me, but over time, it just started to get really frustrating because it would be like, oh, I could have this if that one tiny ingredient wasn't in there. And I mean tiny as if there was like a gram of this one animal product in this liter of thing. Like, it was just getting so annoying. So I kind of started to be a little bit lax on certain things. Like, there was a certain point where after I had an InterStim implant, I was able to start drinking coffee again. So I went to Starbucks, and of course I like the flavored drinks, and I'm like, okay, well, pretty much all the flavors syrups, with the exception of a couple, there were certain syrups that would have an animal byproduct in it and some that wouldn't. And I was just like, I haven't had coffee in forever. I've had all these health problems, and all I want is a fucking caramel whatever. So I got it. And I was just like, okay, this is not where I'm going to be super picky. You know, I'm not going to go get real cheese, like a real cheese pizza, but I'm okay with having like this one little piece of animal product in that. And then eventually, maybe a month or 2 later, I was like, okay, I'll get dark chocolate from this store. They can't confirm for me whether or not there's any milk fat in it, but because it's dark chocolate, it's most likely vegan, and worst case scenario is just a little bit of like milk fat, which, you know, I was trying to be as good as I could be without like absolutely losing my mind. Because keep in mind, with all of my health issues, I have an eating disorder, not in the sense of anorexia or bulimia, but of having a fear of food, because a lot of different foods and drinks have caused me a copious amount of pains. I'm still dealing with it. It's really, it's kind of ruining my life. So, oh, it's getting really hot in here too. Oh, it's so hot. But yeah, so, you know, I was just trying to balance out everything because I do have, you know, an eating disorder. So with the eating disorder, I am a little, you know, having a hard time dealing with food. So I didn't want to aggravate the disorder by being so incredibly strict as I wanted to be. So I was trying to be lenient in certain areas, like little areas like that. So I did that here and there, but that was like, you know, the only thing I did. Everything else, you know, vegan, get a veggie burger that's vegan friendly. Always had, you know, vegan dairy products, not real dairy, and, you know, for the most part it was working. But then over time it started getting frustrating because I started hanging out with people. You know, I was starting to feel better now that I had, you know, the one surgery, the InterStim implant. I seemed to be eating better, and like everything, like I was thinking the implant, you know, kind of helped fix my problems. Well, you know, I started going out to eat, and oh my God, it was so difficult because not only did I have to make sure everything was vegan, but I also had to make sure that it wouldn't be something that would irritate me from a GI standpoint. Because in addition to the vegan diet, I had other restrictions on top of it. So yeah, I could go get pasta with tomato sauce, but tomato sauce is like the worst thing. That I will drink alcohol before I have tomato sauce. Tomato sauce literally rips my entire stomach apart. So it's like, okay, if I go to get a pasta, like I can't get tomato sauce. I have to be careful with garlic. Olive oil is high in fat. Salads, that's too much like fiber and vegetables in the sitting. Like if I, you know, like there's just always something. So every time I go anywhere, you know, it'd be really hard for me to find something. I'd end up getting something and realizing like, oh my god, this is gonna make me sick, like why did I get this? Or, you know, like there was just always a problem. And at one point I just like kind of freaked out. I was like, I cannot take this anymore. It's driving me crazy to have to be so restrictive, especially because I have the other restrictions on top of that. And just trying to go out to eat with people was just so hard. And just being social was so hard with being vegan and having my extra restrictions. I just couldn't take it anymore. So one day I just, you know, ordered wings and just said, fuck it. Like I couldn't take it anymore. And, you know, it was kind of like a sad moment because I was doing so well, doing such a good job on the vegan diet. But then it was at the same time so relieving because I had so much stress going on with food in general, my health and everything. And it was just nice just to be like, to not have that extra worry in my life and just to have more options for myself. So I started incorporating meat back in my diet, but my health issues continued, got worse. I just recently got my gallbladder removed and still having issues. Still not on a vegan diet. Do eat vegan friendly products, but I am not on a vegan diet. And yeah, so as of right now, I'm on a low fat, low fiber diet that's not vegan. Maybe down the road, if like, you know, if I was a completely 100% healthy person, I could so go back to the vegan diet, like, but because of all my other issues, it was just getting too hard. And also, like, it's really hard to be vegan when you have no one else around you that is. And with my past relationship and other people, like, everyone just sees you as a burden. At least for me, that's how I felt. Like, I just felt like a burden, especially because not only was I vegan, but I also had the other restrictions. So I feel like, because at least with the other vegans, like, no matter where you go, you can get a salad. But I can't have salad. Like, that can't be my meal. Like, it would make me sick. So it's just like, I just felt like a huge burden. My ex definitely made me feel like I was a huge, huge, huge burden. And, you know, people just don't understand. So I feel like it would be better for me if I had my health, and B, had a better support system, or at least had friends that were vegan. But the problem is it was really hard to even meet anybody because of my health problems. So I end up being isolated anyway. So I would only like maybe go out with people that I've already met before. But like, it's just a huge debacle. So it's like, there's so many different aspects as to why I stopped, from like social standpoint, option standpoint, my health, the eating disorder I developed as a result of my health. Like, it was just too much. Just too much. And, you know, but there is still a part of me that wants to go back on the diet. Like, I really, like, I kind of miss it. And, like, I have mixed feelings about it. So, like, part of me, the thought about going on it just causes me a lot of stress because I know that it's going to be really tough, especially right now because I'm still dealing with my health. Like, I haven't really improved at all. And I got my gallbladder removed, and I'm still, like, it's still a struggle. So I'm kind of just trying to focus on getting my health back in order. And then if, you know, I want to be vegan down the road when I'm healthier, I can definitely reevaluate that down the road. But as of right now, I'm just going to listen to my doctors. And, you know, it's also really hard for me to find protein based off my low fiber, low fat diet. So I have to I'm just trying to give myself as many options as I can with all the restrictions that I have. And I've been progressively losing weight. I'm really underweight right now, so I'm really trying to keep my weight on, and that's kind of like my main focus. I need to keep my weight on. Not only that, but I also need to gain weight. I need to feel healthy, you know, so there's just so much going on, guys. But it's not like, but I'm not saying I'll never be vegan again. I definitely could see the possibility of being vegan again down the road. I'm not sure. It just depends on how everything else in my life goes and if I ever feel like doing that again. But that's kind of like my story as to why, you know, it's kind of like a little bit how I started, got to that point, and why I'm no longer doing it. So I have mixed feelings about it, but I kind of wanted to share that with you guys and also let you know that I am not on a vegan diet. So when I do, like, my next video is going to be a grocery store haul. So I'm going to show you everything that I picked up at Giant Eagle, and it does incorporate stuff that is not vegan friendly. So just keep that in mind. I wanted to get this video up first before I put that video up, even though I filmed that other one first. But I wanted to get this video up for you guys. So yeah, that's my story. I hope you guys understand and can relate. I do want to put a disclaimer out though, that even if I didn't have any health problems or eating disorder and I just didn't feel like doing the vegan diet anymore, I feel like that should be respected. I know there's other people who've tried the vegan diet, they tried, but it didn't work out. That should be respected. For whatever reason they decided to stop. And I also think people who never go on a vegan diet, who don't try a vegan diet, should be respected. I just respect is what I preach across all my channels, and I think everyone should respect everyone for being themselves. Everyone grew up differently. Everyone sees things differently. Everyone, just because you're healthy, 100% healthy, and can do a vegan diet doesn't mean someone else can. And just because you're someone who's super unhealthy, has a lot of diet restrictions, and you want to be vegan, you can do it, doesn't mean that everyone in the same situation as you can handle that too. So I think, yeah, I just want everyone to respect everyone. Hopefully we'll get a lot of good, nice, understanding comments down in the comments, but I'm sure I'm going to get some hate, but whatever, I don't really care. Come at me, bro. But yeah, so that's my story. I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you have not subscribed to my channel already, please make sure to hit the subscribe button below. Click that little bell so you're notified when my videos have been posted. Like this video if you did like it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye! Okay, and then my fourth fitness goal is to be able to defend myself. This ties into the other things with like strength and whatnot. I feel like I'm at a place where, if someone were to come and attack me, I wouldn't be able to defend myself. I don't even know if I'd try, because I feel like, what am I gonna do? Like, no arm strength whatsoever. I would definitely have to try to kick them or something because my legs are a bit stronger.